Hello, friends. In today's concluding episode on becoming a great leader, I am going to speak of one of what I think personally is the greatest challenges to become a great leader, and that is the ability to manage teams. Invariably, as a leader, you will have a team or maybe multiple teams and you're working with them all the time. And hence, for you to be able to manage them in a way where you grow, the organization grows, and the team members grow is a critical requirement for a great leader. In today's episode, I shall focus solely on this point and what is the way to well manage teams so that you are successful at becoming a great leader. The first thing to remember, and I have told this to everybody whom I'm mentoring on their way to leadership, is to please understand, accept, and not get depressed or demotivated by the fact that no one on your team, or maybe even within the organization, cares about the project and the goals you have set as much as you do. Accept this as a reality because it is a reality unless you do things the right way. Okay? Because those goals and that vision and everything is created by you. And therefore, you are naturally 100% committed and sold on to that goals. But your team may not be so. And to make sure that your team gets committed, you need to do certain things. And the first step that you need to do is to create a compelling vision statement, okay, that aligns with first the values of the company, your values, and everything else. But it also aligns with the potential goals. In a minute, I will tell you, or you will understand why I'm calling them potential goals that you have set. Okay, and that vision has to inspire the team to accept as their own and accept the values that you have set as a part of your vision as those that they also value. So, why the first thing is, why did I say they are potential goals? I mean, they are potential goals in a different aspect, in the sense that they are set by you. I am sure that they are 100% correct. I am sure that they are 100% attainable. And everything else that is required of a goal, a smart goal. But the real challenge is in making them your team's goals. Because till you make them your team's goals, they are not going to care as much about it as we just said. So to do this, to make sure that they are your team goals, don't tell them about the goals straight away. Organize a brainstorming session, have a meeting with the team or the teams involved, even in a small aspect of that project and achieving those goals. Have a brainstorming session where the agenda is to set the goals that you have just decided. So you need to be able to maneuver the meeting, monitor the meeting, and guide the people in the direction so that they think they have set the goals, and therefore they are 100% committed and bought, and they buy into it. So it's your wish list, but it is coming from them. So they are the ones who are telling you that let us do this. And therefore, naturally, they're bought in, they're committed to it. So by doing this, the team gets ownership. They take ownership of the goals. And it makes them feel that they are a part of the process of defining the goals, the timelines, and the process, and everything else that goes with it. And therefore, naturally, they're more determined, more enthusiastic. about making sure that those goals are achieved. Another important thing to remember is that you need to have a team that is loyal and cooperative with you at all times. And to do this, you should have your goals and assignments in such a way that they are in sync with their individual and personal goals and values. So now to do this as a leader, what is very important to do is to find out, talk to them, talk to their colleagues, find out what are their goals, what are the things they value. And once you know what are the things what are their goals, you have to make every effort within your capacity to help them to achieve it. And when you're doing that, you will automatically get loyalty and cooperation from them because they know and they realize that you're working for them. So you are supportive of what their goals are. Another very important to do with teams is to set expectations and standards and make sure that they are well communicated and understood by each and every team member. And those expectations and standards that you set should be such that everybody is held accountable by them, including yourself. In fact, beginning with yourself. And everybody is accountable for the commitments that they make and for the outcomes that they are supposed to create as individuals and as a team. And when individuals perform, some don't, and as a team they don't achieve something, don't start finger pointing. Don't start the blame game. Just make sure that they all come up and get involved. And define the non-negotiables at the very start. Because this will help. Because certain things are always going to be non-negotiable. There's no way you can compromise on them. So define them. Tell them that, okay, these are the values that you cannot move away from. Everything you do has to be based on this. These are the processes that have to be followed. You cannot take shortcuts on them. Have those non-negotiables defined very clearly. And this will help not only the project, but everyone involved in the project, every team member, including yourself, to move forward. Third thing, I don't know how often I have already said this, it's probably already ingrained in your mind, but even then I'm going to repeat it. Walk the talk. Lead by example. Your credibility rests on your actions. Remember this always, not on the words. What you tell them doesn't matter if you are not doing what you tell them. What is expected of them should first be demonstrated as you doing it. So walk the talk. Something that happens all the time. Don't sit perched on a high throne or a high branch. You can shit on everybody. Nobody can shit on you, but that doesn't help. Get down to the level where you sit and work with the team, not just direct them, not just advise them, work with them. In fact, a good idea, and I used to do this very often, is to go and sit where the team is working and actually take part, even if it's a laborious job, which is way below my pay scale, because that creates a bonding with the team. So have a work desk wherever the team is working. Yes, you have a separate desk in a quiet corner or in a cabin where you hold meetings, where you go and sit down when you want to do some thinking without being disturbed. Yes, you need to have such a place as a leader, especially because you are the one who's constantly thinking about the future of the organization. Always have time for your team members. I've spoken about this. Busyness is not a great feature and it's not a great thing to demonstrate to your team members. Be approachable and address the team members' challenges and queries when they come to you. Okay? Be a hands-on leader. Don't just say, do this. Also ask when they, especially when you see that they are facing challenges, but are not ready to come to you for whatever be the reason. Mainly it's because you think that they are inefficient or they lack knowledge. But ask, how can I help you? Be the servant leader, so to say. I've heard this phrase quite often, and I love the phrase. Be a servant leader. Okay? Like our Prime Minister says, he is the chief server of the nation, not the Prime Minister. And work with them on their tasks when they have difficulties. Help them to solve it on the spot with that particular task. But remember and make sure that after that, you train them so that in the future, they are ready to perform those tasks and they are knowledgeable and know how to do it. Be responsible. Be responsible for your actions, your tasks to begin with. Do not shirk them and do not pass them on to the team. What you are responsible for, you had better do yourself. Don't pass it on to the team. You don't delegate responsibilities, you delegate tasks. One thing to remember, because this is something I've noticed that a lot of leaders want to project themselves as, and that is being the know-all. You do not have to be the know-all. You are not expected by any of your team members to have a solution to everything. So when they ask you something which you don't know, don't just say, I don't know. That's a negative way of doing it. Okay. A greater response, a better response, shall I say, would be to, okay, let me get back to you on that. Because it conveys the message that you don't know it right now, but it also conveys the message that you are going to research, you are going to find out, you are going to learn about it and get back to them with a solution to that query to which they or you did not have an answer. Although you're not expected to know anything, one thing is for sure, that as a leader, everybody, whether it is managing down or managing up, expects you to know how to get that missing resource. That's very important. You don't need to do anything, but you need to be able to identify the people, the colleagues, even if it is from another team rather than the team that you're working on, who can help you to solve that challenge. Whenever there is a challenge, I have noticed so often, and I spoke about this, I think, in my last episode itself, that people tend to sweep those challenges under the carpet, hoping that it will be forgotten. They are never forgotten. Okay, so act quickly and decisively whenever you face a challenge, okay, or an issue crops up. Issues will crop up all the time. If you think you're going to have a challenge-free ride, forget about it. I mean, much like the Indian roads in the monsoons, you're going to have bumps all the way through. But by procrastinating and not acting quickly and decisively on those bumps, okay, you will either get stuck there, and that is bad for the whole project. And it sends a negative feedback saying that, oh, he's scared to take a call. A lot of times people have asked me to rate their performance, leaders. And please remember this. I always tell them, and I'm telling you, please remember it. The better person to get your feedback from is the team that you're working with and not your bosses. Your bosses will judge you solely on the results you deliver. But your team will judge you on how you have walked through the roadmap that you have created to achieve those results. And therefore, always make sure that you get feedback from your team. Be friendly and accommodating. Don't be the authoritarian leader. Be the authoritative leader, as I said earlier. So be friendly and be accommodative, but do not be friends. There's a difference. I'm sure you understand the difference being friendly and accommodating and being friends. Okay? Place boundaries as required. You are a leader. They are your team. Maintain the hierarchy that is required. Because once the hierarchy is lost, there will be times, and trust me, there will always be times when you need to become an authoritarian leader. Time constraints, resource constraints, the deadline is coming, but you're way behind. You need to pull rank at times. So the hierarchy needs to be maintained. But if by and large you are friendly and accommodating, that person is going to understand it and accept it. Be mindful of cultural nuances. Nowadays, most teams are global, and you know how cultures differ. In fact, in a place like India, there are so many different cultures depending on where that person is coming from. So you need to be sensitive to those. Be adaptable. Be flexible so that you overcome the critical negative issues that come up. But don't be so rigid, or don't be so flexible rather, so that you compromise on your values and goals and vision. No, don't do that. Be confident at all times and project the confidence, but without showing attitude. Be humble but confident. Everybody loves to work for a confident leader. As I had once said in a talk where I was talking about my leader, I said, it's better to be a mouse under the leadership of a lion than to be a lion under the leadership of a mouse. If my friend ever hears this, I'm sure I'll get a call because he will distinctly remember this. And finally, be transparent and honest. Be transparent about the business, the challenges that the business is facing. What are the major setbacks, if any, that the business has faced, and what the team should be aware of. They don't like to hear it from outside. They would prefer to hear it from you. Share wins with the team, even small wins, because they boost the morale of the team. And when you're conveying these challenges or setbacks that the business is facing, be ready for questions. Answer them precisely and with complete honesty. And these questions are especially critical when you are giving them information that is going to affect them if you are laying out some people. Things like that. So please be sure that you do this. You do all of this and you are going to become a great leader, and the team that you're going to work with is going to love you. So have a great weekend, and we shall connect again on Monday. Thank you very much.